Yes, everybody, big up. Happy Saturday. It is Saturday. Henry, good morning. Good morning. Happy Saturday to you.
Good morning, mate.
Good morning. I said to you, I can't remember, it was last night. I think it was Sean, actually. I was messaging Sean on WhatsApp at 1 a.m. We only finished streaming about 12. And I said, mate, I said, 9.5 hours today. I said, Saturday is my day of rest. Spurs aren't playing. There'll be no news. It's the weekend. I'm not streaming. I'm not streaming. I wake up this morning to see this news that Timo Werner, Chelsea flop, can't get in the RB Leipzig team because he's had his place taken by Benjamin Sesko.
Yeah.
Is it? And Tottenham are in talks with him on loan. There's that bit of me, Henry, that went, no, it's just messing about. Then Plettengold says it. Romano says it. Matt Law says it. Mate, Timo Werner, talk to me.
If you said Timo Werner 5 years ago at Leipzig when he was 22, I would have bitten your hand off. He's gone to Chelsea since then. Okay, he's won a Champions League. He's then gone back to Leipzig. He's played 8 games this season, got 2 goals. And you're right, he's lost his place. The club will look at this and go, well, he can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play through the middle.
Yeah.
They'll be thinking a 6-month loan with an option to buy. Can Ange, because the option to buy will be like less than 12 million euros, because he'll only have, by the summer, he'll only have 2 years left on his deal, plus he's out of favour. So you're talking like very, very cheap fee. A lot of fans are going to be up and raw. I mean, I don't see any point in making this signing. Like, we've been talking about Jota, and just come out and said he wants Jota, let's get it done. And now, all of a sudden today, out of nowhere, Plettenberg's dropped some news that we're getting Timo Werner. It makes no sense.
So apparently,
go on, mate. Go on.
So I was just going to say, let me start. Right, okay, let's just show a few of these, right? So if we start with, it's only fair to go to Plettenberg because I think he was the one that broke it. Florian Plettenberg this morning said this. He said, this was literally an hour ago. Look at the dedication to YouTube. He said, exclusive. Timo Werner, he's on the verge to join at Spurs official on a 6-month loan. It's very hot. Not for me, it's not, but it's very hot. Leipzig and Tottenham in final negotiations today. More details to be clarified. The 27-year-old is ready to leave the training camp of Leipzig. Then, just when I'm thinking to myself, do you know what? Look, maybe, just maybe, right? It might not all be true. Matt Law comes out with it.
Yeah.
Matt Law comes out with it.
Comes to Chelsea news and ex-Chelsea players.
And you can see that Matt Law has said, as reported by Plettengold, Tottenham in negotiations to sign Timo Werner. And then if that's not bad enough, somebody that normally gets most things right, I'm not saying all things, normally gets most things right, Fabrizio Romano comes out and says, let's ignore that. Says this, Tottenham are in talks with Timo Werner on loan, as called by Plettengold. Negotiations are advancing between the two clubs on loan fee and salary coverage. Spurs keep working on Dragusin deal while they negotiate for Werner. Henry, I'm going to stop asking this question, and I want you to be brutally honest, right? I know what our fans are like. And we're going to have these lines now. If Ange wants him, I want him. Right?
Yeah, the buzzwords.
Right? It's only a loan, so there's no risk. But Henry, if Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, Newcastle, Villa, if any of them made this signing, what would we be saying right now? Because Man U were linked with him on Wednesday, and we were laughing at Man United. This flop. What would we be saying?
Yeah, it would be. Romano's tweeted again saying Timo Werner has accepted Spurs' proposal as he wants to return to the Premier League. He's very keen on working under Angepostecoglou. Postecoglou has also approved the deal. Negotiations are ongoing today between Tottenham and Leipzig on loan, plus potential option to buy. That literally come out 35 seconds ago.
There we go. And this is what you're referring to. There you go. So what Henry just read out.
The problem is, it's going to be, you remember when it was, oh, but he's not a Conte signing. Oh, but if Ange wants him, I want him. Oh, if, Pochettino hasn't been back. There's all these buzzwords that come out with each manager, right? I don't see the logical reasoning behind signing Timo Werner other than the fact he's cheap. That is, like, you're talking a buy option of probably less than 15 million euros. Like, he's out of favourite out of Leipzig. If you look at his record in the Bundesliga, it's very, very good. Now, we according to Ange and according to Tottenham and according to the data and the numbers behind it, we wanted to sign a left winger. Now, predominantly, Timo Werner's position is on the left. However, he can play the number 9 and the right wing position as well. But is he a step up? I'll be brutally on this. Is he a step up on Richarlison? Like, is he a better footballer than Richarlison? Does this not just feel like Danjuma 2.0?
Look, what I don't get is, right, listen, I am, as you know, I am very much in the Daniel Levy out. I don't like what Daniel Levy's done at this football club. But Henry, this is now, when I look at Postecoglou's 4 forward signings since he joined this football club, right? And bearing in mind, I'm going to caveat before we say this, and big up to all 372 people in the chat already. Happy Saturday morning to you. Glad to see everyone showing their partners some loving time. Big up to all of you. But Henry, talking about, we've got 42 likes. Yeah, 42 likes. 374 people now in the chat. 42 likes. Please, can we get that to 200 as quickly as possible? Let's make that happen. And before I move on, sorry, Daryl Denton has given away a Football Heritage TV membership. I will try and find out who that went to. Daryl, you're very kind. You're always very kind. Thank you so much for that. The channel membership went to... I can't see who it was given to at the moment. I'll come back to that. Thank you, Daryl. You're a legend. Always supported me from day one. Henry, the forward signings that we have signed since he's come in, and he said, not me, he said any signing that comes in won't come through that door unless he signs it off.
Yeah.
His forward signing so far,
as well.
Right, is Solomon, Kulu, Brennan Johnson. Right? Now, Timo Werner. Are we not just building a collective of very average wide men wide forwards to join Tottenham Hotspur? Like, again, we've not gone out and got that one that you go, oh, yeah, oh, he's good. Isn't this just what we're doing? Aren't we just collecting average?
Yeah, you look at Solomon, you look at Hill, you look at Johnson yesterday was poor, and now you look at Timo Werner. I don't see what qualities he's going to add, mate. He's another pacey player that can't trap a ball, that is okay at running in behind. Like, he hasn't got the X factor. He doesn't get on the edge of your seat. I think his record at Chelsea was pretty bang average. Like, surely we should be striving for better. Does Timo Werner get us into the top 4? Does Timo Werner take us through to the latter stages of the FA Cup? Does Timo... I'll ask everyone in the chat.
Well, this is what you're going to get from everyone, though, Henry. It's every player, everyone thinks that Ange can turn water into wine. Yeah. I mean, we've seen Brennan Johnson looks awful. Brian Hill looks really poor. Richarlison looks really poor. I mean, this whole notion that Ange can just take any footballer and turn them into wine, isn't this getting a little bit tiresome now? Like, people talking about Postecoglou like he's a bit of a god. I love him, but
he's a good crazy manager. But we're putting him on this pedestal of Guardiola, like he can turn water into wine type manager. I still want to hear people's thoughts. Is he a better footballer than Richarlison? If we have a front three of Johnson, Richarlison, and Timo Werner lining up, that to me screams limited. We're limited.
Do you know what it screams? It screams that none of them can control a football. None of them can hold the ball up. I mean, mate, listen. I'm so confused with Tottenham at the moment. I mean, I've been told by everyone, don't worry, we've implemented this new scouting team. We're all going to be working via this data-driven method. What data methods are we signing Timo Werner off the back of? And I'm going to tell you what I mean by this, Henry. Right? Here is Timo Werner's stats. All right? This is Timo Werner. Right? So this is his last 7 seasons as a player. Now, you would say the 2019-20 season, absolutely brilliant at Leipzig, right? 28.
Yeah, that's the Timo Werner I wouldn't mind having.
Right. Since then, Timo Werner's played a lot of games of football, yeah, at 2 very good football clubs. And his goals are 6, 4, 9, and 2. 6, 4, 9,
I mean,
and 2.
The Bundesliga season last year, 14 in 27 is what? Basically a goal contribution every other game, which isn't bad. But the worrying thing is look at his record at Chelsea. Like,
I'm just listen. I get that it's a loan. I'm sorry if I know what I'm going to get, Henry. I know I'm going to get. Oh, you're so negative. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to put myself in the shoes of where I was Wednesday. Right. I'm literally sitting on Straight Facts with Terry Flewers, Football Terrace, who, by the way, has given me a voice note today, just laughing at me. And Terry Flewers has brought up Man United favourites to sign Timo Werner. He's gone, this is ridiculous. What do you make of this? Right. And I've gone, mate. I think my words were, Henry, I'm so glad it's you and not Tottenham. I went, this is a really, really average signing. And he went, mate, this is awful.
yeah, like, I
3 days later. Oh my God.
I don't get it. It's come out of nowhere. No links, just bang. And also, Dragusin as well has got 2 formal approaches from Napoli now. So, like, how have we managed to get Timo Werner nearly wrapped up in not even like since the first reports come out? Romano's now tweeted that Ange wants him, Timo wants Tottenham. This deal will probably be done and wrapped up by Monday morning.
Oh, because it's free. Because it's a loan deal. We're going to probably give them about £3 million in I know, loan fee.
I get that. But at the same time, looking on how desperate we need a centre-back, that deal should have been wrapped up already. We're now on the 6th of January. We've got Man United in 8 days' time. Or 6 days' time, whatever it is. We need a centre-back in by that Man United game. 100%. We have to, like, I don't think Van der Ven's going to be fully match fit. So, and if Ben Davies, if that hamstring injury is bad and Van der Ven is out of that game, you're talking Phillips and Royale at the back against Man United. But hold on, we might have Timo Werner lining up at Old Trafford to save the day.
By the way, just quickly, Toxic Headshot. I'm seeing a lot of posts where you're saying about Dumbo Spurs fans and classic Spurs fans. Please stop making out like none of us have seen Timo Werner play football. We've all watched him play for RB Leipzig twice and for Chelsea. For me, I mean, does this stink of a Havertz type signing?
Well, listen, I don't necessarily know if this stinks of a Havertz type signing, but it is very underwhelming. Look, I've just shared that. That's what Ali Gold's just come out and said. Now, if you can bring up that tab at the bottom.
Yeah. There we go.
A risk-free loan move. I can see the logic of Timo Werner with his pace and option in Postecoglou's system. In the next few months, you could see how he might have altered the game from the bench last night. It's the end of product, of course, that would need to be a greatly improved.
Right, but Henry, I'm sorry. I completely disagree with Ali Gold here, who's just blowing smoke up the club's arse. Sorry, we keep talking about in an Ange Postecoglou system. We've got pace.
Yeah.
Pace isn't our problem. We've got pace. The last sentence he used there is the problem. Finishing would need to be improved. He's 20. He's nearly 28.
Yeah, it's worrying. It's extremely worrying, mate. We're sitting here being linked to a guy that can't even get a game at Leipzig and is being benched by a 20-year-old. Like, yeah, Tony's right. He's just going to be a stopgap until the summer.
I hear you, but we're doing that thing again as fans. We're doing that thing again. If this, as I said, if this was Arsenal or Man U, we are laughing. Let's not pretend we're not, Henry. If this is Arsenal or Man U, we are going, that is not a serious signing. If Timo Werner signed for Arsenal right now, after them talking about Ivan Toney and all that, What are the Arsenal fans saying? What are we saying to them?
We're laughing. We're laughing. We're laughing at him.
And you know what's going to happen? He'll come in, he'll grab a couple of goals, and people will go, there you go. For me, is he different to any of the other types we've got?
Is it different to what Dan Juma could have done at Spurs? I'd rather Dan Juma, to be honest. But like, I don't get.
Hey, Rakesh, sorry, calm down, Rakesh. Last warning, we're just talking football, right? Listen, stop this. No fools. No, we don't expect Mbappe. But I'm sorry, we're just getting to the point now. If this was Antonio Conte, people would be going Timo Werner. But because it's Ange, everyone loves it. Mate, I don't care what anyone says. I'm massively underwhelmed by this. This is, I'd get it if he was scoring goals. He's not playing. He's not scoring.
Yeah. No, mate, I get it. I don't understand. I really don't understand the signing. I don't get what he's going to bring to us that we don't already have. We've already got a pacey winger who can't jab a football, who's okay at running in behind. Like,
we've got that. We've got Son, right? We've got Son and Brennan Johnson that have got the lightning speed on the break, right? Surely the next forward that comes in needs to be someone that can hold it up.
Yeah.
Right? Or is clinical with their finishing. Isn't Werner? So when Son's back, what happens? Werner, Son, and Coglou?
No, it'll be Richarlison through the middle, Son on the left, and Kulusevski. And then we'll have Johnson and Werner on the bench. Werner's not going to come to Tottenham and play week in, week out. No chance. You know?
Look, we've got people saying it's a great signing. We're now using the excuse, well, no striker does well at Chelsea. I'm just sorry. I can't. I don't understand. I get told I'm negative when I say I don't think Spurs are serious about winning titles. Then when we make signings like Brennan Johnson, Timo Werner, I'm told I'm negative and they're really good footballers. I just don't think. I don't know, mate. I'm genuinely a little bit lost for words this morning. I genuinely don't know.
I just don't get the logic of this signing. I don't understand why we're signing Timo Werner. I'd get Timo. I understand signing him if we didn't have a Johnson or we didn't have a Son, because you can have that pace off the bench. But it's literally a carbon copy of Brennan Johnson. But a lot of people will argue it's risk-free. It's a loan move.
Sure.
We'll have to see what happens. But, I mean, who knows? He may come in and tear it up. It's very unlikely, but he may do. I just don't.
Sure.
I just don't get the logic of it. We've already got Brennan Johnson, who is a very similar profile to Timo Werner.
Yeah, very quick, not very technical, doesn't score many goals. Like, oh, listen. By the way, when Timo Werner joined Chelsea, I was one of the people going, do you know what? Give the lad a chance. All right, he's not clinical in front of goal, but at the time he was 23, and I said, you know what? That can get better. The problem is, Henry, 4 or 5 years have passed, and he's not got better. His goals haven't got better, have they?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I
don't know. I just don't get why we're not signing Jota. Jota in the system would be a lot better. I think he's a better footballer than Timo Werner. He's predominantly a left winger, and he can actually run at players.
Look, we've got too many fans like this. Sorry, I can't do it. Can't do it.
We've got too many players at this football club who don't like to actually take players on. It's more run past them. Like when a winger sizes a fullback up and goes, the only person that really can beat a player in a one-on-one and doesn't beat them regularly is Son. Kulusevski, we know Kulusevski yesterday was very predictable. It was so predictable. It was run down the right wing, cut back on his left foot. When he passes, he shoots. When he shoots, he should pass. I don't see what bringing in the likes of Timo Werner in this Spurs team, knowing that we've already got Brennan Johnson on the right-hand side. Like, if we play a formation against Manchester United where you've got Coglou in the 10, you've got Johnson on the right, you've got Werner on the left, and you've got Richarlison through the middle. Like, what are we expecting to gain in our front three? Or what are we expecting to do in the final third with Timo Werner that we haven't already got?
But this is the thing. Listen, and by the way, people in the chat, by the way, we're just talking football, right? Right, please, can everyone stop? I'm seeing people being very rude about Henry, being very rude about me. Can we just chill out? We're just talking football. We're allowed an opinion on a forward, right? Listen, let's look at the positives, right? He is very quick. He is rapid, right? We know that he's rapid. He does cause problems. I'm not doubting that. I'm not doubting that at all. The worry for me is, are we just bringing in another player that isn't clinical? If you're bringing in another player that isn't clinical, surely that player's got to be able to hold the ball up to bring more clinical players into the game. I don't know if you've got either of those in this guy. Now, listen, I'll be in the mud, as the kids say. If he comes in and in the last 18 league games or whatever gets 9 goals in 18 league games, you turn around and go, inspired.
Yeah.
If not, I'm just a bit confused because everyone keeps telling me, I don't understand. Our fans, not all of them, we seem to flip and float about what we want to say about Levy and about Ange and about this club. I'm told there is a plan in place. Yeah, we're doing this data-driven method. And, Ange will pick up a couple of diamonds from across the leagues. Then when you go and sign Brennan Johnson, followed by Timo Werner, it just feels very much to me like the Brennan Johnson deal was a panic. They've realised he's not very good, so you go and get Timo Werner to play on that right instead. Do you see where I'm coming from? I feel like the last 2 forward players coming in will both be similar ilk. There's no difference there.
Timo Werner's played 8 games this season, but he's averaging 25 minutes a game in those 8 games and scored 2 goals. Played 4 games in the Champions League, didn't score. Played 1 game in the DFL Super Cup, got an assist, and played 1 game in the DFB Pokal and only played 73 minutes. Last year, his numbers are much better, but I don't get it. I don't get what he's going to bring to the table. Like, let's be honest, with a fully fit team for the remainder of the season, when you've got Son, when you've got Kulu, when you've got Richarlison, Johnson and Timo Werner are nowhere near the 11. They're bench options, and that's fine. But you've got 2 of the exact same copy and paste players next to each other on the bench.
Werner is an excellent signing. I mean, can I ask based on what, Henry? Like, we're now chucking around superlatives.
It's because it's low risk. That's the only reason people will say it's
sure. So that doesn't make it an excellent signing. It makes it a low risk signing. But Henry, I thought we were looking to the future. I thought there was a plan in place. Let me ask. Is this ambition?
Right? If we bring in Dragusin, Timo Werner, and a number 8, what do you give that window out of 10?
It depends who the number 8 is.
Okay, let's say who are we linked with? Let's say we bring in.
Do you know what? Listen, let me rephrase. Do I think it's the worst signing in the world? No, I don't. Do I think it's the best signing in the world? No, I don't. All I'm saying is, for me, if this is great, yeah, if this is bad, for me, it just sits slap bang in here. It's another one, though, that I don't look at and go, yeah, we're serious. I don't look at this and think, yeah, we're serious. Now, this is something that I always talk about with Stell, right? And people will always have a pop at Stell because of his Levy out stuff and all of that. But always says, right, okay, we're 6 points off the top with 18 games of the season to go. And you always say, right, if you're serious, go and do something. If for once we are serious to go and do something, that's for me where I just can't see that this is us being serious. I see that this is us going, yeah, I get it. Squad depth, he's pacey. I get it. But for me, that's all it is. It's an easy deal to do. Right, exactly.
It's an easy deal to do. If we went out and scouted, I don't know. Let's say we went out and brought in a winger from Serie A. Let's say we brought in a player from Napoli, for instance. Who's had a half decent season last year. It's a much more harder deal to do. Like, realistically, in the last kind of year or so, we've made a lot of good signings, but a lot of them are easy deal. Of course, Brennan Johnson's going to join Tottenham from Nottingham Forest, right?
Of course,
Richarlison's going to join Tottenham from Everton. Of course, Mickey van der Ven's going to want to join Tottenham from Wolfsburg. It's a Premier League signing. Like, I don't want to come on. I don't want to be negative, but.
Mate, listen, let's stop the negative positive. You're allowed to say what you want. All the fans saying, oh, you're negative. No wonder you get called negative. It's not negative. I've got aspirations for a big club. If any fans want to keep telling me that Brennan Johnson's, Timo Werner's, right, Solomon's, Richarlison's, if they think these are big signings and they're showing ambition, then they've not got the ambition to want to win things. That's fine. That's fine. But I think you have, Henry. I have. I want Spurs to do better. This, for me, stinks of cheap. Brennan Johnson was a panic buy for a homegrown footballer. I think we need to accept this, right? Let's be fair.
Yeah, the fact that Ange has approved it, has he approved it, or is this just a? I'm just gonna let the dog out in the garden, but yeah, I think it's an easy signing to do. 2 seconds.
Dean, sorry, I'll ask because I love trolls like you, Dean. Sorry, who am I saying? Who are we talking about in a disgusting way anyway? And who did I say was brilliant 4 months ago? I think you're lying here. By the way, everyone, Henry and I are giving up our Saturday morning to talk. So please can everyone not be so rude. It really is getting rude in here. And there's only 183 likes. There's 704 of you in the chat. Only 184 likes. Listen, we're just giving our opinion on a player. No one has to agree with it. But at the same time, can we please not be rude? Okay. Some people like a player. Other people don't like a player. Right? Can we not be rude? It's getting to the stage now where people are not allowing anybody to have free speech. So please, can we not be rude? Smash the like button. The likes should be at 400. They're only on 210. Look, I don't think he's the worst player in the world. I really don't. I was expecting different. That's all it is, Henry. I was expecting different. If I take a step back now, the initial shock's gone. I don't think he's the worst player, but I was just expecting a different profile of player. I was expecting someone who's clinical or someone who can hold the ball up or some type of skill set that we don't already have in the squad. Is that fair?
Yeah, like it's fair, mate. If we brought in a player that could take players on, can play out wide, who's got a bit about him, we'd all be sitting there going fantastic. But it just for me, it just screams of an easy deal to do. Like I don't see what Timo Werner is going to bring that we don't already have. And if we don't get Dragusin, whoever the backup's going to be, we better get that done soon because we can't go into the Man United game with Davies potentially out and Van der Ven not fully fit. We've got a lot to sort out before that Man United game. Can't go into the Man United.
Yeah.
A lot of the fan base and a lot of people are going to say, well, it's a comfortable deal to do. It's an easy deal to do in terms of it's low risk. You're talking the loan fee is probably going to be under 5 million euros. Mate, as I said, I just don't get what Timo Werner is going to bring to the table that we don't already have. He can't take a player on. He's one-footed. He's only strong on his strong foot. He's very, very similar profile to Brennan Johnson. And a lot of people say, "Oh, but look at his Leipzig numbers before he joined Chelsea." That's fine. And I get people going to say, "But the past is irrelevant." Can he come to Tottenham and do a few bits? I don't know. I just don't see what he's going to bring. Like, is this Danjuma 2.0? It seems like we're in a very, very similar position to that.
Morning, Sean. Loving the hair. This is
just got up,
mate. Listen, I'm not doubting it.
I haven't got long. Bugsy's barking because she's an hour late for her walk, so she's mad. So I wanted to come on, just react with you lot to this signing.
Yeah. Mate, listen, more than welcome. By the way, just quickly before I bring Sean in, there's 732 of you in the chat, 241 likes. Come on, we should be at 500 likes by now. Smash that like button. Please subscribe to Spurs Talk Show. Please subscribe to Henry Wright TV. They're giving up some of their morning for you. I know Henry and I are doing a show after this, so we're giving up all of our morning for you. And please subscribe to myself. The link is in the chat. Sean, initial thoughts when you saw this morning?
I like it. I think it makes sense. I think January window is difficult to get a permanent deal done for a striker. I think strikers are very hard to come by. Of course, if we could have got Santiago Jimenez or someone of that ilk on a permanent, of course, that would be the preference. Is he right at the top of the list? No. Am I surprised by it? Yeah, didn't see it coming. But Geezer he's got 300 goal contributions in 450 games across his career. Didn't work out for him at Chelsea. He's got a miss in him. If you want to go on YouTube and look at his miss highlight reel or his low light reel, then you might shudder. I get it if people want to be skeptical or think of it with a glass half empty approach, but I think it is low risk. I think you get through the tough period. We have no other options. We saw last night Richarlison isn't the guy, and when you look to the bench, you have Dane Scarlett. There's a problem there, and you're gonna struggle to find a better alternative solution to get us through this season. I've been saying that the one thing I don't want to happen this January is for knee-jerk signings that we make in order to
Timo Werner.
No, hang on. Knee-jerk. Not at all. It's not at all the point. Knee-jerk signings where you sign to 4 or 5 year contracts to cover over injuries that you have for 2 or 3 months now. I don't want Tottenham to go and sign up to nightmare problems that we can't get rid of for the next 2 or 3 years in order to cover over issues. So a 6-month loan deal with an option if it works out. If it doesn't, send him back, and then in the summer you have 4 months to go and get the guy you want. If you can get the guy you want, even in the summer, the striker market is incredibly short supply at the top end, incredibly high demand. To me, he comes in. On his day, he's a really, really good player. He's fast. He's powerful. I think he fits the Angepostecoglou system. I think
I disagree completely. I think he's the complete opposite of the Angepostecoglou system, isn't he?
No. He works hard. He's a hard worker. He can do the dummy runs. He can play the ball behind. He can get in behind. I think look, if you focus on the things that you saw at Chelsea, then you're going to sit there and think, oh no, what are we doing here? But if you look at his overall abilities, look at his overall career, then I think that there's a guy in there that can contribute, that can get us through. And if I'm entirely honest, provide competition for Richarlison, because Richarlison, I'd have Timo Werner over Richarlison all day, every single day in the 9. And he's versatile. He can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play, like I say, he can even come into the second striker role. I think given the circumstances of where we're at, with our injuries, with our options, with the January window, with the supply of strikers in the market, I think it makes sense.
Henry, does it make sense? Is he an Angepostecoglou type player? If he is, I'm confused as to now what an Angepostecoglou type player was. I was told Brennan Johnson. I heard exactly the same thing, that Brennan Johnson was an Angepostecoglou type player. Werner doesn't score a lot of goals. His touch is awful.
He's got two GAs every 3 games. 2 GAs every 3 games.
Not in the last 4 years. He does not get 2 GAs in every 4.
Over his career, 2 GAs every 3. Look at the stats.
If you look at his career before the Chelsea move at Leipzig, his numbers were very, very good. The numbers since he left Chelsea to rejoin Leipzig aren't as good as before. It's a low risk.
It's low risk. I'm not doubting that.
Situation for the club, because if he does well, we get him on a very low fee. You're probably talking, like I said, under 15 million euros. And the loan fee for the rest of the season is probably going to be under 5 million euros. It's a win-win situation for the club. He comes in, he can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play the number 9. I just don't get what he is going to bring that's different to the likes of Brennan Johnson. Because when...
He scored 16 goals last season.
Sorry?
He scored. He's saying he hasn't scored goals since last season. He scored 16 goals. He's got 5 goals in 5 games in the cup, 9 in the league, and 2 in the Champions League. It's not a bad return for a geezer that cost £15 million.
So this season he's played 209 minutes, played 8 games, got 2 goals. Can play on the right, can play on the left, can play through the middle.
209 minutes, so basically 2 games of football.
He's averaged 25 minutes a game.
2 games of football and scored 2 goals.
Yeah, last year he got all in the Champions League.
I think massively overreacting. But listen, he didn't work out in the Premier League, so it'd be interesting to see if he comes back. Maybe some horses for courses. Maybe you guys. I understand why you guys. If people want to see it through a certain lens, totally respect the right to do so, and I can understand the logic behind it. I just think, for the reason I've already outlined, that there's a logic to the madness. I don't think we can.
Yeah, it's a win-win situation, because if he comes in at a low fee, who can play multiple positions, it's a win-win situation. I just feel at the moment, when you come to February, and you've got the likes of Son back, and you've got Maddison back, and you've got players back. On the bench, we're going to have Solomon on the bench, Johnson on the bench, because the front three will be Son, Richarlison, and Kulu. You have got options off the bench. You've got, you can bring on Timo Werner. I would have liked to see Timo Werner come off the bench yesterday because, Matt, I was that game. It come away at one point. I know Porro scores an absolute worldie, right? He's never going to probably strike a better ball all season. But we come away from that game completely deflated because it took a worldie for us to beat Burnley. Now, there could be an argument there that maybe if we have Timo Werner coming off the bench, we put in a better performance.
I don't understand this. What's the hate for Brennan Johnson about?
I don't think... No, hang on, Sean. You're doing what a lot of the chat do. There's no hate. It's just you're allowed to not rate a player without hating them. Listen,
what's the lack of rating of... Fine,
because he's not very good. He can't control a football. He can't take a man on.
He was good for the first 15 minutes, and then he
had one good shot. He had a good shot, Henry. He had one good shot. Other than that, how much?
How many goals? How many GAs has he got this year?
No, but is this all we're going to judge players on now? Just their GA?
It's a pretty important metric.
So we're not going to look at players now about their overall. We've got no standards as a football club. I'm sorry, this is what's happened now. We've got no standards. Brennan Johnson. No, I'm doing it.
You're different. No, you're it's so rude. To say
it's
that
not
someone
rude. It's not.
It is, mate.
Sean, it's not rude.
Someone has a different opinion to you, therefore your standards are just higher.
No. Hang on.
It's different.
Hang on. Brennan Johnson. Sorry, you're telling me you watch Brennan Johnson and go, "Oh, that's a good player."
I know. I can see. I can absolutely see the potential in him. I can absolutely see why we bought him. I can see it.
I'm baffled.
It's a straight through seat. I'm baffled about your opinion.
But what does he? But again, a good footballer. I'm talking about a player that you look at and go, "Yeah, when he gets that ball, that touch, that control, that movement, that confidence." I don't, Henry, what do you think of Johnson? I watch him and I'm always listen, I think he puts in a nice low cross every now and then. His all-round game for me, though, when he gets the ball, the defender ain't worried. He don't do anything to worry a fullback. Last night was a massive case in point. He had that one chance where he cut inside and had a shot, was good. Every other time he got the ball, you're thinking, do something. He runs it out of play. His first touch goes out of play. His passing inside is poor. And we're getting a very good player.
I've criticised him for, I think his engine worries me. But I think I can see his improvement. I can see since he's come in, I can see him getting better. Yesterday wasn't a great performance, but then everybody stumped the place out yesterday. So, sometimes you have those sort of games. But for me, Brennan Johnson is nowhere near this player that some people make him out to be. I think that there's just this glass half empty approach to Tottenham at times.
No, or how about the realistic? He's just not as good as people think.
Stop saying your opinions are realistic and everyone else's are stupid, mate.
But then stop saying glass half empty. For me, top footballers don't play like Brennan Johnson.
On Johnson, right?
15 million. 15 million.
Johnson, he can't obviously justify. Like, everyone's immediately going to go, 47 million pounds. That's fine. He's what, 20? I don't know how old he's 23, 24, 22, something like that. He's got. I agree with both of you to a degree. He's got a lot of potential. I think there is potential in that position. But yesterday when I watched him, at times and I'm not just picking on him because you both said it wasn't a great performance. But when the ball comes to him and he dribbles it off the pitch, I want to see Brennan Johnson run at the player, and I think that's a lack of confidence. He's done it twice this season. In the Newcastle game, we saw him touch it round the fullback, running direct, get in the box, put crosses into the box. We've seen that at Wolves. He got on the score sheet. I think he's got 1 goal, 4 assists this season. And people will say, I'm happy to give him time because it's his first time in an Ange system. He may, it take the narrative is it takes the players a year to learn the system. And I don't really get what we're going to expect.
I'm not worried about the system, Henry. Can we strip this back to the bare basics? I keep hearing this about so many footballers that we're worried about the system and they take them time to learn. I'm talking about the bare basics of him as a footballer, his touch, his control, his intelligence. I look at it and go, really? This was what we could get for £50 million of footballer. Sorry, listen. I think he's a decent Premier League player who at Nottingham Forest, that would have suited him. I look at it for Tottenham Hotspur, and I know we want to back every player. I know we can. We're always want to back players.
Sorry, I've got you off. Butty's going mental here, so I'm going to take her out.
All right, mate.
If you're still on when I'm come back, I'll come back on.
All right. I don't know why it's become not allowed now, Henry, to have high standards for footballers to be able to control a football. Like, I literally feel I've never known anything like it. And the internet has caused this. As much as we're on it, the internet has caused this. Back in the day, a player like Brennan Johnson, who can't control the ball, whose first touch isn't very good and doesn't really beat a man, you'd sit there and go, oh, he's okay, but not really that great. Now everything is, but the potential, but he could grow into. Henry, we just paid £50 million for this bloke. Like, we're not buying potential at 50 million, are you?
Well,
I don't know.
That's what the market's become.
Sure, I understand that, but do you watch him and go, yeah, this is the guy for me that's going to take us places?
No, I don't watch him and go, yeah, like he's class. He's gonna. I do think there is some potential there in him. I just think at the moment we probably could have got a more ready player for the team right now. And at 47 million, like, I'll give you an example, right? Aston Villa signed Bailey and Diaby for the same price we signed Johnson. Both of them would be a lot more suited to the way we play football on that right hand side. That both of them would make a lot more sense. They're both a bigger goal threat. They're both more direct when it comes to running at players. I just think right now I'm just looking through Timo Werner. Like, I've read 4 scouting reports now. Like, I don't get what he's going to bring on that left hand side. Like, is Timo Werner a better footballer than Johnson? Is he a better footballer than Richarlison?
Can I just say, Henry, I don't think Timo Werner is the worst player I've ever seen. I really need to get this across to people. I don't think, I'm not sitting here saying this is a terrible signing. I just don't understand.
You feel a bit underwhelmed.
I feel really underwhelmed. I said I felt underwhelmed by Brennan Johnson. I made that very clear, didn't I, on transfer deadline day? And I think too many people now are looking through their lenses at GA. For me, I'm not worried that Timo Werner isn't a 30-goal-a-season striker. I'm worried that is he bringing a different skill set to what we've already got? You've got the pace with Son and with Brennan Johnson, right? For me, you've either then got to be clinical or you've got to be a hold-up player that drops deep, that can create. At the moment, it just feels like another player. And you know when I said yesterday, Henry, that Spurs play at 100 miles per hour, and I think we just need somebody to slow the game down every now and then. Yeah. Someone in the midfield and up front. Timo Werner's another one that does the game at 100 miles per hour.
Yeah, and running through.
I don't mind him. I really don't mind him. Cam, stop doing this. Sorry, stop doing this. No, sorry, stop doing this. I don't mind him. I'm not going to sit there and go, this is the worst signing. I'm not going to get behind him. I will get behind him. Of course I will get behind him. But it doesn't mean that just because I'm underwhelmed that I'm not a fan, that I just need to get on the hands train.
Not Johnson, sorry. What do you think Werner's best position would be in this Spurs team? The way we play, is he a number 9? Does he play on the left with Son up front? Because at the moment, Richarlison's got 5 goals in his last 5 Premier League games. So I think at the moment, if Werner was to come in that Man United game, surely he plays on the left. Johnson's on the right. Kulu's in the 10.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, look, this is Ange just said, I want him. They're signing him. That's for him to decide, right? I'll be interested when Sonny is back. I'll be interested to see what they do, because as much as we want to talk about rotation, I think that's more for next season. We're playing once a week. He's, I don't know, a fluid front three with Werner, Son, and I mean, because when Maddison's back, if we're going to say then Johnson's on the right, Werner and Son in the other 2 positions, and then Maddison, so then Kulu's not playing, which is fine, but Kulu's then not playing. I'm not sure. Look, I need to process all this much more. I need to process this so much, Henry. I'm just, I don't know. I just feel like, on one hand, I've got fans screaming at me, telling me I'm negative because I don't think we're winning titles and to be more optimistic. Then on the other hand, I've got people championing footballers that are good. They're okay, but not what the top clubs would buy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so for instance,
that-
Timo Werner has played 293 games as a centre forward, 74 games as a left winger, 25 games as a right winger, 22 games as a second striker. He played 40 games last season, or 39 games last season, had 23 goal contributions. This season, he's played 12, 13, 14 games and got 2 goals, but he's not even played 500 minutes. People will look at those numbers and go, and Ange can improve it. I just think he's going to go back to Leipzig in 6 months. He's going to come in and cover where we need cover. I just feel a little bit, I feel like I personally would have rather has gone and got a more winger that's naturally good at taking players on.
Yeah,
I feel that in a counter-attacking system, having Johnson and Werner would be brilliant.
I think that's the thing for me, Henry. I'm more intrigued. Look, I can't keep saying it. By the way, please, can everyone keep it clean? Right? It's just football opinions. I'm seeing things being written about Henry and being written about me. Like, we don't think we know it all. We're giving our opinion the way you're giving your opinion in the chat. We're just doing it on a camera. Is that right, Henry? Yeah. We're doing it on a camera. And if you disagree, it's, get these guys as scouts, or these guys should be the manager. They know it all. We're just giving a football opinion, right? The abuse has to stop. It's getting a little bit too much in the chat, right? By the way, there's 900 exactly in here. 900. Please smash the like button. There are only 306 likes. There should be 400 to 500, 600 likes. Please do. Please subscribe to Henry Wright TV if you haven't already. And come on, look, guys, we're on 12,302. This should be on 12,350. That should be. Is that fair, Henry? With 900 people in the chat,
make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Smash that subscribe button. Subscribe to Henry to get him to what? You're nearly at 20.
Yeah, no, I'm 70 away from 19. 19.
Come on, 70 of you. Subscribe to Henry. Please subscribe to myself as well. It is really, really appreciated. And these are just football opinions, right? Imagine me, Sean, and Henry all came on here and said, yeah, we love him. There's no debate, is there? We love him. He's brilliant. So let me get some super chats, Henry. Sorry. Big up Jerome has said, why on earth would we want Timo Werner? The guy has 2 left feet and cannot score point blank. He is another speed merchant without any finish. There's one way to look at it. At least I know I'm not alone, but there's one way to look at it. Big up Jerome. I always appreciate you. Rob Brown, thank you so much for becoming a channel member. I really do appreciate your support, Rob. Tell some of these other people to subscribe. It's been very, very poor in here today for that. Big up to you, Rob. Jerome's come back in and said, wasting time on Dragousing, but jump on a bang average player like Werner is so Spurs because it's a loan. What is the point of this signing? Well, that's what we're discussing at the moment. That's what we're discussing. Big up, Jerome. Thank you for that. Memphis Depay has come in and said, as a United fan, thank you, Spurs. They didn't want him and they need forwards badly. Big up, Memphis. We really, really do appreciate that. Orox Beats. Sorry, there's a few, Henry. Orox Beats has said, I would have gone for Thuram from Inter. He is class, strong, fast, clinical, and can play left wing. However, I'm 50-50 on Werner. I agree. I'm 50-50 on Werner. I can only hope he comes good. I agree. I only hope he comes good as well. Thank you so much, Orox Beats. Video complete. Sofiane has said, Chilwell said that Werner is similar to Harry Kane.
In what world are we?
Okay. Yeah. And I look like Brad Pitt. Jerome has said, no, it does not make sense. I love this. I cannot understand why we are getting someone that can't score, especially with a current toothless front three. Interesting. Let's keep an eye on that one, Jerome. Adrian Cheer has said, Man United wanted Werner. That's a red flag. Stay clear. Looks like the deal's going to get done, Adrian. Tom81 has said, question is Werner better than who we have? Depends where he's going to play, right, Tom? Is he playing through the middle? Is he playing out wide? Let's have a look. Look, I'll get behind it. I'm just giving my opinion. I'll get behind it. Big up to you, Tom. Connor W. says, Sava, you're one. How many is that? You're 100,000. I think there's 100,000% correct. He is pony. Yeah. I'm not saying he's pony. Connor. I'm just underwhelmed. That's all it is. I'm underwhelmed. I'm not allowed to be underwhelmed, apparently, but I am underwhelmed. And Tigara, the single parent theory, has said, could Richie be leaving? Now we've got a story, right? Timo might have been a necessary purchase. Do we really know what's going on? Tigaro, I like that. That's what I like. Constructive comments that take us down a different path.
Yeah,
That's what I like to see. But big up, Tigaro. Thank you so much for that. Henry, that would make more sense to me.
That's what I think.
Richarlison is going
to Saudi.
You're going to collect 40, 50 million that you can then reinvest in the summer, and Timo Werner is a stopgap. That makes more sense.
I think that's what's going to happen. And I'll be honest, if a bid comes in for Richarlison from Saudi, we have to bite your hands off for it. Timo Werner would come in. I think he's a better player than Richarlison. I wouldn't be opposed if we went and got a proper forward in the summer and had Timo Werner as a squad option. So, for instance, let me just throw out there just some names. Hypothetically, if we went and brought Elise, right, for 40 million or whatever his release clause is, let's say we put 50 million on the table and bring in Elise or Eze, and then we also have Werner as a squad option. So you've got Werner, Song, Elise, Kulusevski, and then someone else. But I like what's going to happen with the likes of Solomon? That's another one.
Yeah,
is Solomon going to stick around? Is he going to be here? Like, what's happening with him as well? He's apparently back from injury very, very soon. But yeah, lots of the fans are going to be definitely annoyed this season waking up, and a lot are going to be happy.
I can see though, Henry. One thing I will say is I can see that. Look, the fan base again. When a player is like that because the fan base is split. Like, let's be fair. I think when Tottenham were trying to sign James Maddison, I didn't see anyone go, "Oh, I don't want Maddison." Right? I think everyone went, "Oh yeah, we'll have a bit of James Maddison," right? Some players just split opinion. And from what I'm seeing in the chat, what you've got is a lot of people who are going, "Oh, I'm not sure." And then the other 50% are, "Yeah, he's good." And everyone's split down the middle. And I think it's good. We're allowed to have that debate, people. We're allowed to have that debate. But by the way, please keep smashing the like and subscribe. Subscribe to Henry Wright TV. Would one of my mods be so kind to please put Henry's link in the chat? Surely from 898 people, we can get Henry 70 more subscribers or however many he needs to get to the 19K. Come on, people. What I will say is I will give away a shirt if that gets to 12,400. Probably not going to happen, but that's 95 subscribers to get to a free Premier League shirt. Henry, let's look at this, right? Let's look at some positives. It does add pace. Let's look at positive. It adds pace. When fit, Timo Werner and Son could put the fear of God into other teams. I'm going to ask this question, though. Does that change the way we play slightly? As those two would probably be, or we've seen it with Son, much more effective in that kind of counter-attacking type style with their pace rather than a kind of controlled 10 men behind the ball trying to break it down.
I think you'll see Timo Werner up front and Son back on the left. That's what I think you'll see. I don't think you'll see Werner on the left. I think because majority of his career, he's played every single game practically, like 75% of his games as the number 9. He's been most effective when he's the number 9. When you're playing teams like, it will benefit us having Timo Werner against the bigger clubs when they're spacing behind. In the low blocks, though, against the likes of Burnley last night, against the likes of Sheffield United when we got over the line in injury time, I think Timo Werner might struggle. This is why we need James Maddison back in to pick the lock, to find that killer pass, to play through either Werner, Son, Richarlison, Coglou, Johnson, whoever it is, Solomon. Like last night, we were screaming out for James Maddison. Like he is so important for us, and I think when you're playing these low blocks, having him maybe finding a pass to these players is the difference between us winning and maybe drawing. But definitely in these bigger games, when there's more space in behind, against the likes of Cities, against the Uniteds, against the Liverpools, the Chelseas, the Arsenals, the Villas, when we are some of the time counter-attacking, I think you'll see a lot more. So that's just my opinion. It's going to divide a lot of opinion, this, and we're just going to have to kind of stick this out. Hope it goes right. If it doesn't, then
look, I will fully get behind him if he signs. Right? What I think we've got to be able to do as fans, as YouTubers, we've got to be able to say, really like the signing, underwhelmed, don't want him at all. I'm not saying I don't want him at all. I'm just a little bit underwhelmed. I haven't seen anyone. I don't know about you, Henry. All the show's done. Have you seen any Spurs fan come out and go, I'll tell you, it'd be a good signing, Timo Werner?
Have I seen? Sorry, what was that? So I was reading the Romano.
No,
post.
no
What
worries.
was that?
No, have you seen anybody in leading up to this window or during this window that's turned around and said to you, you know what?
Yeah, go and get Timo. No,
Timo Werner's a good signing. Then when we're linked with him, I suppose for me, more than anything, it's shock. Like my brother-in-law, you met my brother-in-law.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
brother-in-law is a Chelsea fan, right? And he's messaged me this morning and said, you'll love him and you'll hate him, right? You'll love him and you'll hate him. He said he's rapid. He causes problems. He gets into great positions, but your overwhelming feeling at the end of that will be frustration. That's my only worry. Are we going to sign another player? Like yesterday, we saw Richarlison through on goal a few times. And
Yeah,
let's be honest,
hit the target, put it wide. Yeah,
right, dragging shots. He said that's what you're going to get. And I was like, oh God, like, I suppose that's where, I don't know. That's what I'm just trying to, I'm
apparently
really
Napoli have
confused.
reached an agreement with Gennaro, according to Football Italia.
Yeah, I've just seen that. Yeah. I mean, by the way, if we move away from Timo Werner for 1 second, can we not let this get away from the fact that we need a centre half? Like, let's
Desperately.
Let's not get away from the fact that let's agree. We all love Werner, all right? We all love Timo Werner. Timo Werner signs for Spurs, scores us 15 goals. Brilliant, love it. Done. Sava's in the mud. Blah blah blah. Sava, you didn't want him. Cool. What about the centre half? What does Spurs do if these reports? By the way, we're going to go for another 14 minutes, people. Then we will be transferring over to Henry's channel. But come on, guys, this is poor. This is poor. Smash that subscribe button. Over 880 people. We're putting on constant content for you. Come on. Let's sow some love and support to some of the Spurs YouTubers. We're creating debate for you. We're giving you something to watch. If we don't get Dragusin, what do we do? Where do we look for centre halves if we don't
I think
get
it'll be
Dragusin?
Adebayo, mate. I think we'll go and get Adebayo done. We're not going to go and get Todibo. We're not going to get... It looks like we're not going to get Lloyd Kelly. I think Adebayo or someone else will be the main guy. You know, there's not a lot of links at the moment. I think at the moment we will get Timo Werner done by the end of the weekend, and then on Monday we'll get. Well, they want both of them in before Sunday. So I don't know what you guys think right now, but they want Dragusin done by the weekend, and they also want Timo Werner done very, very soon. So we could be looking at the end of the weekend when we've got 2 signings through the door. You know, but who knows? Yeah, and apparently Napoli have reached an agreement with him. So if it's not him, I think it will be Adebayo.
Yeah. If it is, here you go. Here's a question to the chat. Now, there's 900 people in here, right? I'm going to ask this question. We're playing hypotheticals now, right? We're playing hypotheticals. If we don't get Dragusin in, and Tosin Adebayo is the only one that comes in. Now, I've always maintained, Henry, that I don't mind Tosin Adebayo coming in if another defender comes in as well. I would be more than happy with Van der Ven, Romero, Dragusin, Adebayo. I think you're set then for a few years as that's your back four. That's your 4 centre-back options. Now, if it's just Tosin Adebayo, I want to know from people in the chat, just put a number in. Out of 10, how satisfied would you be? If he was the only centre-half that came in this window, tell me how satisfied you'd be. What would you be out of 10, Henry? In terms of Adebayo as an option, me too.
7. He's not a Van Dijk. He's not a world beater, but he's definitely not the worst defender.
Agreed.
If we brought in Dragusin and we had Davis, Romero, Van der Ven, and Dragusin for the remainder of the season, I'd be happy with that. If we don't get him, we bring in Adebayo, probably a 6.5. I don't think Adebayo is a bad defender, and there is an argument there that he does solve some of the homegrown problems we've got. So, yeah, I'd be 6.5. If not, I'd be, a 7 if we bring him in.
See, do you know what? I don't mind Tosin as a player. I actually think when I look at him, he's got most of the attributes. Are they outstanding? No, but he's got most of the attributes. He's tall. I was going to say tall and strong. He's tall. He's strong. He doesn't mind bringing the ball out. He's good in the air. I think he'd be a good signing. I just think, is it a case of we're just not prepared to just go that little bit further? You know,
Apparently
get Dragusin
Werner's
and
pushing
him.
the move now. Apparently Werner's pushing for the move. This deal's done.
That deal will get done. Saeed, I'd love you to jump on. I know you're probably busy, brother. I'd love you to jump on and let me know what you think about Timo Werner. Message me if you're available for 5 minutes. All I know is when I was on the show, the other day with Terry and a lot of United fans, they were all going, "Oh, please not Timo Werner, please not Timo Werner," and I was laughing at them. So, yeah, absolutely. I mean, is there any other options other than Tosin Adebayo? Like, I haven't seen us linked with anyone for a long time other than Dragusin. So that's why I think this could still get done, if I'm brutally honest. But I did say I thought it'd be done by Wednesday. Then I said I thought it'd be done by Friday.
And now it's going to be done by Monday.
Yeah, now it's Monday. The more we go every day, Henry, Napoli's name is gone from interested to bidding verbally to bidding formally. I don't know how true any of it is.
And apparently they've put 2 players and 20 million euros on the table.
Yeah, apparently.
And they want one of those players on a permanent. They want one of those players on a loan. We have to go and get Dragusin done ASAP. If we brought in Timo Werner, Dragusin, and a good number 8, like I'd be happy with Dragusin. I'd be happy with the number 8, and I'd be asking questions about. Timo Werner. But
yeah. Yeah. Look, by the way, I tell you what, I think this for me probably, I'll tell you what, Leo, big up Leo Brown. That for me, Henry, probably sums up where I am. Right? I'm probably being a little bit dramatic, right? Because it's breaking news. But for me, I don't know about you. I think I'm on the fence. I think I'm very much, it could either be a masterstroke from Tottenham, which you turn around and go, great, what a signing, didn't see that. Or I think it could be terrible and you go, yeah, I did see that. So I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence with it. Just quickly, some super chats here. Anna Dawes has become a new channel member. Big up, Anna. Thank you so much. Always in the chat. I see you in Henry's chat as well. I see you in Sean's chat. So thank you so much for becoming a channel member. I really do appreciate it. Big up to you. Always. I like people like Anna in the chat. They just talk football. If they disagree with you, they tell you why without being rude. I love that. Big up to you, Anna. Big up to Jimbo Coys. Long time no see, brother. Hope you are well. Said smash the like and subscribe. It's free. Absolutely, it is free. People like Henry and I really do put in the graft for everyone. And sometimes it can get a bit overwhelming with the abuse. So please abuse us, but at least subscribe, right?
Yeah, if you're going to at least put a hate,
yeah.
That like button as well.
Abuse me, but subscribe to me. Yeah. And keep smashing the likes, guys. There's 915 of you in here, only 439 likes. Let's get that to 600. And we will be jumping over to Henry's channel in about 7 or 8 minutes. Phil P, the leader of the Phil Army, my and Henry's Nando's buddy. Here he is. Yep. We need to do a Nando's soon, Phil. We keep saying it. Said, can Werner equal KDB plus Salah? Chelsea reject, then Prem star. I definitely don't want to put him into KDB and Salah's remit, but I see what he's saying. There's a possibility, right, Henry? This could work. This could take off, and we sign him.
He could come in and can do really, really well, but putting him in the KDB and Salah kind of that territory is a bit much. But look, if he comes in, I'll back him. I'll get behind him. Pause. But I just think we need to get. I'm not excited about Timo Werner until we've got a number 8 and a centre back in. You know, Andrew's come out and said he wants all his business done early. I'm happy that we are only 6 days in the window. We've seen links to 2 players now, concrete links. Go and get go and get it done.
Mm.
You
Yeah,
know, we need goals. We need another centre back. Go and get your business done early, and then Ange can work with Werner and the new centre back and kind of progress with them throughout the remainder of the month.
look, what I will say is this. I will say is this. Ange Postecoglou is the manager. He has said that he signs off all signings coming in. If Postecoglou brings in Werner, gets him into being a goal-scoring machine and playing really well, you know what? All that will do for me is make me even more impressed by Ange Postecoglou's management and his coaching, right? As a fan, I'm never going to apologise for being sceptical about the signing. I'm never going to apologise for being on the fence. For me, I've been massively underwhelmed. We'll see. If he comes in and does well, you know what? I can do a video in about 3 months, Henry, and go, hands up, got it wrong. It was brilliant. If he's not brilliant, though, I just wonder, will everyone else turn around and go, yeah, actually, that was a poor signing? It's very easy to knock the people that doubt it when it works. But when it doesn't work, it doesn't seem to have that same energy, right? By the way, Daniel Hammett, big up to you, has said, I can see the logic of Savat, Sean and Henry's opinion. I think that we said we need a better bench and Werner does that. We need someone more clinical than Richarlison. Werner, stats-wise, is that.
It does improve our bench. That's a solid point, but it's just not. Sure. It doesn't excite anyone, does it? You know, like
I mean, there are people excited, Henry. There are people excited. So you've got to ask the question. Look, I agree and I disagree with you, Daniel. I agree that for squad depth, yes, I agree with you. Is he clinical? Do his stats in the last few years show that he's clinical? I'm not sure. He's a 1 in 3, 1 in 4 guy, right? Listen, I'll jump, Henry. I'm going to jump on board with it. I'll jump on board with it, all right? For the sake of Tottenham fans. Jerome said, let me ask you this. When Werner played for Chelsea, did he at any time put the fear of God into any team? We are getting another Lucas Moura. Is that a bit harsh? Another Lucas Moura?
I mean, he's got a better return than Moura, but like I've just seen Tobes is having a massive rant on Twitter saying, why can't we sign an actual winger? Like this is very much dividing the fan base, kind of like Richarlison did. Lots of people are on board with it because of how well we're playing, and lots of people are, you know, going against him because of his time at Chelsea. But only time will tell, mate. I just feel it's very much like Danjuma.
Of course. By the way, wow. When I asked the number out of 7, if you would take Tosin Adebayo, look at this: 2, 2, 5, 4. I get called negative. I give Tosin a 7. Unbelievable. Hang your heads in shame, people. 4, 2, 3, 6, 6, 4, 3, 5, 4, 4. Wow, Henry. I don't think anyone's giving us 7-2. Big up, Phil. 3, 4, 5, 5, 3. You're all very negative. They're all negative, Henry.
Yeah, you all need to F down the Emirates.
Yeah, you're negative. I love it. But guys, I think what we've just sown there by that is, doesn't it show we can all rate a player or not rate a player? And with a different player, we'll all have a different opinion on that player as well. It doesn't make anyone a clown. It doesn't make anyone a loser. It doesn't make anyone negative. We just all like different things in a player than what other people like. Guys and girls, we are going to wrap up in just 2 minutes and jump over to Henry. Henry, let me know when you've put the timer on. Look, all I will say to finish off is this. At the end of the day, if this is the signing that the club want to make, if it doesn't work, then questions need to be asked. We were told there was a plan. Is this part of the? Are we saying this was part of the plan? Is this an opportunist signing?
The fact that it's come out of nowhere, I think this signing has been planned. You don't just get a random report out of nowhere. Bang, we're going to sign Timo Werner. This has probably been planned for a month or so.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that. I get what he's going to bring to the table. I get that he's got a very, like, the numbers aren't bad. I personally wanted to see the centre back in, then the forward, and then the number 8. But at the moment, like if we bring in Timo Werner, look, we'll all get behind him. Like,
can I just say, sorry, I've seen a lot of people say this. Eamon, sorry, when you say we're forgetting, no one's forgot. You've made that up. I've literally written look at the title of my show, Timo Werner to Spurs on loan. This isn't anything to do with whether it's a loan or not. This is just to me going, it just stinks again of not really having a plan. For me, it stinks of not really having a plan, not really. I just feel that it's an opportunist one. It is what it is. Henry, listen, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I really didn't think that we're going to get so much abuse in the chat. I can't believe it. Big up to Dave, Irish Hotspur. Said bringing in a striker makes sense, and at least the club are admitting we need another one, but show some ambition. Werner will not improve us. Someone else feels the same as me. Whew. Thanks, Dave. You've restored my faith. Everyone go and abuse. No, don't go and abuse Dave. Here's a subscribe. You don't, P.S. You don't know shit. Clown. Oh, I don't know why people need to be so rude. Come on. I don't know. Don't know why people need to be so rude. Okay, anyway, let's move on. I think when people start getting rude, we just move over. Let's go to your channel, Henry. Thank you so much for joining me, mate. I really do appreciate it. It wasn't expecting this at all. The wife hates me, but it is what it is. Thank you to all those that have been nice and just talked football. Really do appreciate it. Please like and subscribe on your way out. Join us. I've sent all 825 over to you, Henry. Take care, everybody. See you later. And as always, come on.
Come on, you Spurs.
You Spurs.